Just now, this is the 4th month of my stay within these walls. The smell of Lysol has soaked into every vein and inch of my flesh. To me, it is the scent of death, a cloud whispering that someone has just left this life. And the most terrifying part? The unknown person had the same diagnosis as me. Glioblastoma, stage 4, inoperable. I'm going to die. 6 months, a year, no more. The relentless headache kept pounding what little time I had left. The sooner, the better. The IV drip began to seep steadily into my veins. It was the 10th bruise this week. As usual, what are they even teaching you in med school? Good afternoon, Yulia, said my doctor, Margarita Vyacheslavovna, as she entered the day hospital ward, followed by a handful of open-mouthed students in wrinkled white coats. Interns. Great. I'm also a study subject now. Do you mind if they just stand by? I do, I snapped, but my gaze landed on the guy in the back. A blonde with green eyes that scanned me deeper than any X-ray. He looked older than the others and kept his distance. His name was Igor. He'd spoken to me before, a few times, when he was practicing how to hit a vein.
Can I just be left alone, just for once? To make my point, I yanked off the scarf, revealing my bald head. The interns lowered their eyes and stepped back, but he kept looking. Not with pity. No, that wasn't it. It was something deeper, sharper, frustration. Not at me, but at what was happening to me, at my giving up, at my silence. He hated seeing someone surrender. He always wanted me to keep fighting, to use the time I had, but I had nothing left. I was tired, trapped. You're young, Yulia. You still have a chance. But if you give up now, nothing will help, said Margarita Vyacheslavovna, her voice heavy with well-practiced sorrow. I pressed my lips together until my jaw ached and looked away. Footsteps, murmurs, the stifled sound of someone laughing, quickly silenced. When I glanced back, the room was empty. Good. I exhaled sharply and sank into my pillow. My head throbbed, and the nausea was building again. Still thinking about how it ends, I jumped at the voice. He was there again, the guy with the impossible eyes. Want to offer suggestions? I said bitterly. What do you think I am? Some kind of underground therapist? He smirked, more like a sarcastic nurse without a license. Now, that's closer to the truth, he replied, with a mocking bow. I almost laughed, just a little, but stopped myself. Aren't you the second year who failed a major exam? Remind me why I'm listening to you. Because deep down, you're not ready to give up either, he said. You're just scared, and that's okay. I paused. His smile was disarming, warm, real. It's hard to breathe when it feels like everything's ending. I whispered. Then maybe it's time to take a breath anyway, he said softly. And with that, he gently reached out and removed the IV needle from my arm.
Hey, that stuff'll just make you puke your guts out. Forget it. He leaned down and lifted me from the bed, arms under my back and knees. He was tall enough to knock the wind out of me. Startled, I wrapped my arms around his neck. That jade gaze disarmed me completely. Don't even think about falling for me, he laughed. As if, I scoffed. Blondes aren't my type. He gently set me down as the elevator doors opened. My neck was sore from looking up at him. Mind telling me where we're going? I wasn't afraid of death, but I wasn't in a rush to die tied to a hospital bed either. We're going for a walk, he said calmly. There was mischief in his eyes. It'll be fun. My sister says that a lot, right before getting into serious trouble. Smart girl. The steel doors opened. Igor wrapped an arm around my waist and led me into the main lobby, then out to the admission area courtyard. We're going to walk the edge, but you have to trust me completely, no matter what I do. His green eyes turned serious. Might as well call the cops now, I said, half joking. His face hardened. He stepped back. Then I wish you a softer mattress and more morphine. They always water it down. Budget cuts. He turned sharply and walked off. I watched him go and realized I didn't want to see him disappear. Igor! The name escaped my chest on its own. He stopped and turned around. I stepped up to him, close. Then promise me this. Show me life in a way that makes me forget I'm afraid to die. He held out his hand. Leading me by the fingers, he took me beyond the hospital perimeter to the parking lot. He stopped near a Lexus. He's rich too? But then he started doing something shady. You're stealing a car? I said, horrified. We are stealing a car. You're with me, remember? Trust. Shit. The adrenaline of being caught spiked through my veins like a drug. I bit my fingers, glancing around. In the distance, a stocky little security guard, casually patrolling between rows of cars. They're coming, I hissed, shaking with fear. Hurry. 1 more minute, Igor growled. We don't have a minute, I moaned. The guard was now staring at me directly and approaching fast. Hurry, Igor! Everything okay? The guard called out, noticing my sickly appearance. Yes, all good, I shouted, lips numb. I'm waiting, my boyfriend has the keys. Just then, the Lexus door popped open and Igor jumped into the driver's seat. Get in, he barked. I collapsed into the passenger seat and slammed the door. The locks clicked shut. The guard pounded on the hood, calling into his radio.
She's smiling? Igor took Yulia's lifeless hand, gazing at the pale face he had memorized over 2 months of coma. No, it's just your imagination, said Margarita Vyacheslavovna, quietly lowering her eyes to the forms. The girl's family had just signed the consent to disconnect her from life support. Today? Igor asked. She nodded. He ran his fingers over the fresh scar on Yulia's forehead, the one from the crash that sent her into peaceful oblivion. She's there now, in that day, in the car, with me, he whispered with certainty. She's smiling, thinking about the speed and freedom. She's happy there. There's no pain. I kept my promise.